They say aging is inevitable, but what if one simple daily habit could change the way your body experiences it? Imagine waking up each morning not weighed down by stiff joints, foggy memory, or the quiet worry of heart disease or cancer. For many people over 60, these challenges feel unavoidable, yet science is beginning to reveal a different truth. A truth that shows how as much as 90% of the diseases we fear most, those that steal our independence, our clarity, and our energy, can be reduced or even prevented through small, consistent choices. It isn't about expensive treatments, miracle pills, or impossible exercise routines. It's about something so basic, so ordinary, that most of us overlook it. But in its simplicity lies real power, the power to protect your memory, strengthen your heart, and lower your risk of cancer. This isn't a theory or a passing trend. It's rooted in research and proven in the lives of everyday seniors who have rediscovered vitality by embracing it. Stay with me until the end, because the way you practice this habit is what makes it truly life-changing. After 60, your body deserves nothing less. For most of us, waking up in the morning is such a familiar ritual that we rarely stop to think about what our bodies have endured during those hours of sleep. The truth is, after 6 to 8 hours of rest, your body hasn't had a single sip of water. Not one. While you're sleeping peacefully, your lungs continue to breathe, your skin continues to lose moisture, and your body quietly uses up its fluid reserves to fuel essential processes. By the time you open your eyes at dawn, you are already dehydrated. This mild dehydration may not make you feel thirsty right away, but it is silently thickening your blood, slowing your digestion, and making it harder for oxygen to reach your brain, your heart, and your kidneys. For someone in their 20s, the body can usually bounce back quickly. But after 60, the systems that once compensated so easily become more fragile. The lack of water upon waking can show itself in subtle but frustrating ways. Morning grogginess, stiff joints that resist movement, sluggish digestion that makes breakfast feel heavy, or that foggy mental state where remembering a name or focusing on a task feels harder than it should. Many seniors accept these discomforts as an unavoidable part of aging, when in fact, they are often the body's quiet cry for something as simple as hydration. Science confirms what common sense already whispers. The brain is made up of roughly 75% water. Even slight dehydration can interfere with how well it functions. You may find yourself misplacing your glasses more often, forgetting the right word in conversation, or struggling to concentrate on a book. These are not always signs of serious cognitive decline. They can also be the result of not giving your brain enough water to do its job. Research published in the Journal of Nutrition has shown that mild dehydration leads to measurable impairments in memory, focus, and reaction times, even in healthy older adults. Imagine how much sharper you could feel simply by restoring what your body lost overnight. Your cardiovascular system tells a similar story. Blood that lacks adequate hydration becomes thicker, making it harder for your heart to pump. For seniors, whose hearts may already be under strain, this is like asking a tired engine to push against unnecessary resistance. That added effort contributes to higher blood pressure and less efficient circulation. Yet just 1 or 2 glasses of water in the morning can thin the blood enough to ease that burden, allowing oxygen and nutrients to flow more freely throughout your body. Inflammation, one of the great culprits behind heart disease, arthritis, and even certain cancers, is also linked to dehydration. When your body doesn't have enough fluid, it struggles to flush out waste and toxins. Over time, this buildup creates a low-grade stress that fuels inflammation. Morning hydration, therefore, is more than a comfort. It is a powerful act of prevention. By simply starting your day with water, you're reducing the silent drivers of chronic illness before they gain strength. Consider the story of Harold, an 82-year-old retiree who had begun to accept his health troubles as the price of growing older. His doctor had warned him about borderline hypertension, and his family had noticed he was becoming more forgetful, misplacing items, repeating questions, and occasionally losing track of conversations. Harold assumed it was just old age catching up with him. But during a routine checkup, his doctor asked a simple question: "Do you drink water first thing in the morning?" Harold laughed and admitted that most days he reached straight for his coffee pot. Water, he thought, was something you drank only when you felt thirsty. His doctor suggested a small experiment. Every morning, before coffee, before breakfast, even before reading the paper, Harold was to drink 16 ounces of clean, room-temperature water. He agreed, though he remained skeptical. What difference could a glass of water make? Within a week, Harold noticed that his mornings felt less heavy. He still enjoyed his coffee, but he no longer relied on it to shake off that stubborn fog. 2 weeks in, his joints didn't creak quite as loudly when he stood up. By the end of the month, his daughter remarked that he seemed sharper, more present in conversations. At his next appointment, his blood pressure readings had improved, and he confessed that he was astonished by the change. "Turns out," he said with a grin, "I wasn't losing my memory, I was just dried out." Harold's story is not unusual. Countless seniors overlook hydration as a foundation of health, assuming that because water is simple, it cannot be powerful. Yet simplicity is often where real strength lies. Hydration affects nearly every system of the body, from digestion to circulation, from memory to mood. By embracing the habit of drinking water first thing in the morning, you give your body the tools it needs to begin the day resilient and prepared. Think of it this way: when you wake up, your body is like a garden after a long, dry night. The soil is parched, the plants are drooping, and everything is waiting for the morning rain to bring it back to life. Your first glass of water is that rain. It restores balance, nourishes every cell, and sets the stage for growth and vitality. Without it, the garden struggles. With it, life flourishes. Practical steps make this habit easy to adopt. Keep a water bottle on your nightstand so that the first thing you see when you open your eyes is a reminder to drink. Aim for 16 to 32 ounces, depending on your body's needs, and choose room temperature water, which is gentler on the stomach. Some people find it helpful to drink in smaller sips rather than gulping it down, allowing the body to absorb it gradually. Consistency is key. It is not the occasional morning that changes your health, but the daily commitment. For those who worry about frequent bathroom trips, it may help to spread your water intake evenly throughout the day. But that first glass remains the most important, as it breaks the overnight fast and sets your system in motion. Think of it as priming the pump, preparing your digestion, circulation, and brain for the tasks ahead. Morning hydration also supports your liver and kidneys, the great detoxifiers of your body. With adequate water, they filter toxins and metabolic waste more efficiently, reducing the risk of kidney stones, urinary tract infections, and even certain cancers. Seniors often underestimate how much their organs depend on hydration to keep working at full capacity. By beginning the day with water, you are protecting these vital systems at the exact moment they need it most. Some may ask, but what about coffee or tea? Don't they count as fluids? While these beverages do provide hydration, they also come with compounds that can mildly dehydrate or stimulate the body in less restorative ways. Think of water as the foundation, the pure fuel your body craves before anything else. Coffee and tea can come later, but water deserves to be first. It's worth noting that hydration is not only physical, it also affects your emotional well-being. Seniors who start their day with water often report feeling calmer, more balanced, and more in control. That sense of clarity can reduce anxiety and improve mood, reminding you that aging does not have to mean decline. Instead, it can mean choosing habits that preserve and even enhance the quality of life. The beauty of morning hydration is that it requires no special equipment, no costly investment, and no dramatic lifestyle overhaul. It is accessible to everyone, whether you live in a bustling city apartment or a quiet rural town. All it takes is a commitment to yourself and a belief that small acts matter. As you imagine tomorrow morning, picture this. Instead of reaching straight for your phone or the coffee pot, you reach for a glass of water. You drink slowly, letting the cool liquid awaken your body. Within minutes, you feel a quiet shift. Your joints ease, your mind sharpens, your energy lifts. You begin the day not with struggle, but with strength. That is the promise of morning hydration. It may be simple, but it is not small. For those over 60, it can be the difference between enduring the day and truly living it. And as Harold discovered, sometimes the secret to feeling years younger is not found in a doctor's prescription, but in the ordinary glass of water waiting patiently by your bed. So tomorrow, before the headlines, before the coffee, before the busy noise of the world, give your body what it has been waiting for. Drink deeply. Drink gratefully. And remember that in every drop lies the gift of resilience, clarity, and health. For centuries, walking has been humanity's most natural form of movement. Long before treadmills, gyms, or fitness trackers, people simply walked to survive, to gather food, to travel, to connect. Yet in modern life, walking has been reduced to something ordinary, even overlooked. For many seniors, the idea of exercise feels overwhelming, conjuring images of heavy weights, intense cardio, or complicated routines. But the truth is far simpler. One of the most powerful habits you can adopt after 60 requires nothing more than your own 2 feet and a pair of comfortable shoes. It is the daily practice of brisk walking, and it has the potential to transform your health in ways far beyond what most people imagine. When you walk briskly, meaning not just a casual stroll but with purpose and steady rhythm, your body awakens. Your heart rate increases, pumping oxygen-rich blood through your veins. Every step encourages circulation, sending vital nutrients to your brain, your muscles, and your joints. For seniors, this improvement in blood flow is no small matter. Poor circulation is often behind many of the complaints of aging: cold hands and feet, numbness, swelling, sluggish healing, and fatigue. With each stride, walking counteracts these effects, reminding the body that movement is medicine. The benefits reach the brain in remarkable ways. A 2018 study published in Neurology found that older adults who walked briskly regularly showed increased volume in the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for memory and learning. In other words, walking can grow the part of your brain that guards against cognitive decline. Think of it as watering a plant. The more consistently you nurture it, the stronger and more resilient it becomes. For someone worried about forgetting names, losing mental sharpness, or feeling foggy, brisk walking is like a daily tune-up for the mind. Beyond memory, walking plays a critical role in managing blood sugar, a concern for countless seniors facing type 2 diabetes or prediabetes. When you move, your muscles absorb glucose more efficiently, helping to lower blood sugar naturally. The American Diabetes Association notes that consistent walking can reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes by up to 30% in at-risk individuals. That is a staggering statistic for something as simple as a half-hour walk around your neighborhood. Cholesterol, another silent threat, also responds positively to regular walking. Physical activity helps raise HDL, the so-called good cholesterol, while lowering LDL, the bad cholesterol that clogs arteries. Over time, this balance protects the heart, reduces the likelihood of stroke, and keeps your vascular system strong. And unlike drastic diets or harsh medications, walking accomplishes this with no side effects other than stronger legs and a clearer mind. Perhaps most surprising is walking's connection to cancer prevention. Research has linked regular physical activity to lower risks of colon, breast, and endometrial cancers. The reasons are layered. Walking regulates hormones, boosts immune surveillance, and reduces systemic inflammation, which is increasingly recognized as a root driver of chronic disease. While no habit can guarantee total protection, walking stacks the odds in your favor, giving your body daily reinforcement against threats that often feel uncontrollable. Consider Carol, a 76-year-old woman who serves as a quiet example of what walking can do. Carol had struggled with high cholesterol for years. Her doctor warned her about medication, but she dreaded the side effects. She also noticed her sleep growing restless and her mind clouded with a stubborn brain fog. Then one day, while reading an article on senior health, she decided to try something almost embarrassingly simple: daily walking. She didn't buy new clothes or sign up for a class. She just put on her sneakers and walked down her driveway. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. At first, 5 minutes was all she could manage without tiring. But Carol persisted, adding 1 or 2 minutes each day. By the end of the first month, she could walk 20 minutes without stopping. By the end of 6 months, walking had become her sacred morning ritual. The results were undeniable. Her cholesterol levels improved, her sleep deepened, and the fog that once clouded her thoughts lifted. Carol rediscovered her love of crossword puzzles, delighting in the clarity that walking had brought back to her life. Most importantly, she felt empowered. Walking gave her a sense of control at an age when so much can feel beyond control. Her story resonates because it mirrors the journey of so many seniors. The barriers are often mental more than physical. People believe they are too old, too tired, or too busy. But walking requires no gym membership, no heavy equipment, and no financial investment. All it asks is consistency. A brisk walk of 15 to 30 minutes each day can create changes that reverberate through every system of the body. The beauty of walking is its adaptability. You can do it indoors at a mall on cold winter days, outdoors in a park filled with sunlight, or even around your neighborhood block with a friend. The pace should be fast enough to elevate your heart rate and leave you slightly out of breath, but not so intense that you cannot carry on a conversation. Swing your arms naturally to engage your upper body, and let your stride lengthen as your strength builds. If you walk outdoors, you gain the added benefit of sunlight, which boosts vitamin D and enhances mood. Fresh air itself has therapeutic value, reducing stress and instilling a sense of connection with the world around you. Walking with a companion adds another layer of benefit: social connection, laughter, and accountability. But walking alone can be just as powerful, offering moments of quiet reflection and peace. The psychological impact of walking should not be underestimated. Seniors who walk regularly often report feeling more accomplished and more independent. Walking can combat depression and anxiety, providing a sense of rhythm and routine that grounds the day. For someone who may feel isolated or restless, the simple act of moving with purpose can bring back a sense of agency and joy. As with any habit, starting is often the hardest part. Many people assume they must begin with long distances, but in truth, consistency matters far more than intensity. Begin with 10 minutes, then build gradually. Celebrate each small victory. Over time, the minutes add up, and so do the results. Think of walking as a daily deposit into your health savings account. Every step compounds, building resilience for the years ahead. For seniors dealing with joint pain or mobility issues, brisk walking can still be accessible with proper shoes, supportive surfaces, and pacing adjustments. Walking on softer paths, such as grass or tracks, can ease pressure on the knees and hips. Pairing walking with gentle stretches before and after can further protect joints. The movement lubricates your joints like oil in a machine, making them less stiff and more capable of supporting you throughout the day. Imagine the ripple effects in daily life: steadier balance, fewer falls, sharper thinking, deeper sleep, healthier digestion, and lighter moods. These are not distant promises. They are changes people notice within weeks of consistent walking. The body, even in its later decades, responds with gratitude to the gift of movement. As we age, independence becomes one of the most treasured qualities. Walking is a direct path to preserving that independence. Strong legs, a healthy heart, and a sharp mind mean you can continue to live on your terms, to shop, to visit friends, to travel, to care for yourself without relying on others. Each brisk walk is a declaration that you are not giving up that independence easily. And so, tomorrow morning, when you slip on your shoes and step outside, remember that you are not just walking. You are nurturing your brain, strengthening your heart, lowering your risks of disease, and reclaiming your vitality. Like Carol, you may begin with just a few minutes, but those minutes carry the power to transform. Walking is not glamorous. It will not appear in flashy advertisements or sell expensive memberships, but it is accessible, timeless, and profoundly effective. It is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be: healthier, sharper, and more alive. Do not underestimate the power of this habit. Each step is a medicine, each stride a promise, each walk a renewal. Aging may be inevitable, but decline is not. With walking, you write a different story for yourself. One where movement keeps you vibrant, connected, and free. So take that first step today. Let it lead to another, and another, until walking is as natural to you as breathing. In time, you will discover what Carol discovered, that the path to health, clarity, and joy has been beneath your feet all along. Breathing is the most ordinary thing in the world. You take about 20,000 breaths every single day, most without even noticing. It is the background rhythm of life, steady and dependable, carrying you through every moment since the day you were born. Yet, despite its constancy, few people realize how profoundly the way you breathe shapes your health. Especially after 60, when the body becomes more sensitive to stress, fatigue, and changes in blood pressure, the act of breathing consciously, deeply, through the diaphragm, can unlock benefits that are as powerful as medicine. Diaphragmatic breathing, often called belly breathing or deep breathing, is more than just filling your lungs. It is about engaging the diaphragm, that dome-shaped muscle beneath your lungs, and allowing each inhale to expand your belly outward rather than lifting your shoulders. It may sound simple, but this technique transforms the very chemistry of your body. When you breathe this way, you send signals to your nervous system that you are safe, calm, and in control. Stress hormones drop, your heart rate slows, and your blood pressure begins to ease. For seniors who live with hypertension, anxiety, or mental fog, this single habit can be a lifeline. Stress is often underestimated in its toll on older adults. Many people imagine retirement as carefree, yet countless seniors carry invisible burdens: financial worries, loneliness, health fears, and the weight of change as loved ones age or pass away. This chronic stress pushes the body into a fight-or-flight state, releasing cortisol that keeps the heart racing and inflammation simmering. Left unchecked, this stress accelerates aging, raising the risks of heart disease, memory decline, and even cancer. Diaphragmatic breathing interrupts that cycle. Each slow, intentional breath activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's rest and repair mode. It is like flipping a switch from chaos to calm, allowing your body to heal rather than fight. The impact extends beyond stress relief. Studies have shown that deep breathing improves heart rate variability, a measure of how resilient your cardiovascular system is. A stronger heart rate variability means your body adapts better to challenges and recovers more quickly from stress. In practical terms, this means a steadier pulse, lower blood pressure, and a cardiovascular system that doesn't tire as easily. For seniors managing hypertension, this is no small gift. The brain also thrives under deep breathing. Because the brain is so dependent on oxygen, the quality of each breath directly influences mental clarity. Shallow chest breathing, which many people fall into unconsciously, limits oxygen intake and leaves the brain undernourished. The result: forgetfulness, difficulty focusing, and sluggish reaction times. Diaphragmatic breathing reverses this, flooding the brain with the oxygen it craves. Seniors often report that after just a few weeks of practice, they feel sharper, more focused, and more present. Memory improves, concentration lengthens, and the fog that once clouded their days begins to lift. Consider the story of Frank, an 82-year-old widower who had lived with high blood pressure for over a decade. Medications kept it somewhat controlled, but he hated the side effects. He was often irritable, tired, and restless. On top of that, he noticed his concentration slipping. Reading the newspaper, once his favorite morning ritual, became frustrating because he would lose focus before finishing an article. His daughter suggested something unusual: 10 minutes of deep diaphragmatic breathing each morning. At first, Frank scoffed. "Breathing?" he laughed. "I've been doing that my whole life." But she encouraged him to try. The first week was clumsy. Sitting in his chair, Frank felt silly placing a hand on his belly, watching it rise and fall with each inhale. He grew impatient, wondering if this was just another wellness fad. But he stuck with it, and by the second week, something shifted. He noticed he was less irritable. His daughter commented that he seemed calmer, more patient in conversations. A month later, at his doctor's appointment, his blood pressure had improved noticeably. The doctor was surprised. Frank admitted sheepishly that the only change he had made was 10 minutes of deep breathing each morning. Encouraged, he continued. Within 2 months, Frank rediscovered his love for reading. His focus returned, his memory sharpened, and he even found himself dozing off more peacefully at night. "It's like my brain and body are finally talking to each other again," he told his daughter. That simple act of intentional breathing had restored a balance he hadn't felt in years. Frank's story is not unique. Seniors across the country are discovering that breathing deeply is not just a relaxation exercise. It is a profound form of self-care. The body craves oxygen, and the mind craves calm. Diaphragmatic breathing delivers both gently and naturally. It doesn't require equipment, money, or special training. All it asks is a few minutes of your day and a willingness to slow down. Physiologically, the practice works because it stimulates the vagus nerve, a critical highway between the brain and the body. When activated, this nerve helps regulate digestion, blood pressure, immune function, and emotional balance. Think of diaphragmatic breathing as pressing the reset button on your nervous system. It tells your body, you are safe. You can rest now. Over time, this message accumulates, lowering chronic inflammation, improving immunity, and making you more resilient to both physical and emotional stress. For seniors struggling with anxiety or loneliness, this practice can also be deeply grounding. Sitting quietly, focusing on each breath, And letting thoughts come and go without judgment creates a moment of peace in an otherwise busy or unsettled day. Many report feeling more centered, less overwhelmed, and more connected to themselves. In a world that often feels uncertain, those few minutes of calm can be a priceless anchor. Practical application is simple. Start by sitting comfortably in a chair with your feet on the ground. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your belly. Inhale slowly through your nose, letting your belly rise like a balloon while your chest remains relatively still. Exhale gently through your mouth, feeling your belly fall. Aim for a rhythm, perhaps 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out. With practice, extend the exhale longer than the inhale, signaling safety to your nervous system. Just 5 to 10 minutes daily can create measurable improvements. But consistency is the key. The best part is that you can practice this anywhere. At the kitchen table, in your favorite armchair, or even lying in bed before sleep. Some seniors like to pair it with soft music, nature sounds, or a simple meditation, but it is equally effective in silence. Over time, it becomes second nature. When stress rises, you automatically return to the belly breath, calming yourself before the situation escalates. Imagine how this habit could ripple through your life. Lower blood pressure reduces the strain on your heart, lowering your risk of heart attack or stroke. Improved focus lets you enjoy books, puzzles, or conversations with clarity. Better emotional balance means fewer arguments, less frustration, and more patience with yourself and others. Sleep becomes deeper, digestion improves, and energy stabilizes. These are not abstract promises. They are tangible changes that countless seniors have experienced simply by reclaiming the full potential of their breath. Some may still feel skeptical. How can something so simple matter so much? But remember, the body runs on oxygen. Without it, no cell can thrive. Breathing deeply ensures that every cell receives what it needs, while also dialing down the stress signals that wear us out over time. It is the bridge between the mind and body, a tool we have carried with us all along, waiting to be used intentionally. As you picture your day, think of the moments you could transform with this practice. The restless morning when your heart feels heavy with worry. The quiet evening when loneliness creeps in. The stressful phone call or the frustrating traffic jam. In each of those moments, you have a choice, to remain in tension, or to take a deep, intentional breath that tells your body, peace is possible. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. For Frank, 10 minutes a day opened the door to a calmer, clearer life. For you, it might be the same. The power is not in some distant medicine or complicated program. It is right here, in the air around you, in the rise and fall of your belly, in the rhythm that has carried you since birth. Aging may bring challenges, but it also brings the wisdom to recognize that the simplest habits are often the most transformative. So tomorrow, before the day races ahead, sit quietly and breathe. Feel your belly rise, feel your belly fall, and let your body remember what it means to rest. With each breath, you are lowering your stress, strengthening your heart, sharpening your mind, and nurturing your soul. This is not just breathing, it is healing, resilience, and renewal. And it is available to you every single day. For most of human history, the body lived in harmony with nature's extremes. Cold mornings, chilly rivers, brisk winds, and sudden storms forced our ancestors to adapt. These fluctuations were not just a challenge. They were part of what kept the body resilient, strong, and alive. In modern times, however, we have built a world that shields us from discomfort. Our homes are perfectly heated in winter, our showers are steamy, our beds are soft, and our clothes are designed for constant comfort. While this makes life more pleasant, it has also removed a natural stimulus that once kept our blood vessels, immune systems, and metabolism sharp. That missing element is exposure to cold. Cold water exposure may sound intimidating at first, especially if the idea of stepping into a cool shower makes you shiver before you even turn the knob. Yet, science has shown that short, intentional moments of cold can spark powerful benefits, improving circulation, reducing inflammation, boosting mood, and enhancing energy. For older adults, these effects can be especially meaningful, providing relief from stiff joints, sluggish mornings, or lingering fatigue. When cold water touches the skin, the body responds instantly. Blood vessels constrict, forcing blood inward toward your core to protect vital organs. Then, as the body warms again, those vessels reopen, encouraging a powerful surge of circulation. This natural pumping mechanism strengthens the vascular system, keeping blood vessels more flexible and efficient. For seniors, who may struggle with poor circulation, this process is like a gentle workout for the cardiovascular system, improving oxygen delivery and supporting overall heart health. At the same time, the cold triggers the release of norepinephrine, a neurotransmitter linked to sharper focus, improved mood, and reduced inflammation. Unlike caffeine, which stimulates in a jittery way, norepinephrine creates a calm alertness. For someone over 60 who wakes up sluggish or foggy, that splash of cold water on the face or a 30-second rinse at the end of a warm shower can feel like flipping on a light switch. The fog clears, the body feels energized, and the mind sharpens. Inflammation, that underlying villain behind arthritis, heart disease, and even certain cancers, also quiets under cold exposure. By reducing inflammatory markers in the body, cold water creates an environment less prone to chronic pain and illness. Seniors who try it often notice their joints feel less stiff, their muscles recover faster, and their overall sense of vitality improves. What once felt like an ache they had to live with becomes more manageable, sometimes even significantly reduced. Consider Gloria, a 76-year-old grandmother who had lived for years with chronic joint pain. Her mornings were often the hardest part of her day. She would wake stiff and foggy, moving slowly through her routine, dreading the creak of her knees as she made her way to the kitchen. On the advice of a friend, she reluctantly decided to try ending her warm showers with 30 seconds of cold water. At first, the shock was overwhelming. She gasped, shivered, and wondered why anyone would willingly endure it. But she reminded herself to be consistent and gave it another try the next day. Within a week, Gloria noticed a difference. Her mornings felt clearer. She still woke with some stiffness, but it eased more quickly. After a month, she realized her joint pain had lessened, and her mood was brighter. She even joked with her daughter that the cold water felt like a cup of coffee for my soul. Most remarkably, she found herself looking forward to the ritual. What once felt like torture had become a daily reset button, waking not just her body but her spirit. Gloria's experience mirrors what many researchers have found. A 2016 paper in Medical Hypotheses suggested that regular cold showers could reduce symptoms of depression. Another study in the Journal of Physiology in 2014 showed that cold exposure enhances immune function, priming the body to fight off illness more effectively. For seniors concerned about infections, these findings are especially encouraging. Cold water is not a cure-all, but it is a powerful ally. Modern life rarely challenges us with temperature changes. We move from heated homes to heated cars to heated stores. But when we gently reintroduce the stress of cold, our bodies remember how to adapt. Scientists call this hormesis, a process where small amounts of stress trigger beneficial adaptations. Just as lifting a light weight strengthens muscle, a brief exposure to cold strengthens resilience. It trains the body to recover, to regulate, and to endure. For seniors managing concerns about diabetes or weight gain, cold exposure also activates brown fat, a type of tissue that burns energy to generate heat. Unlike white fat, which stores calories, brown fat helps regulate blood sugar and boosts metabolism. For someone trying to keep weight steady or manage insulin sensitivity, this activation can be an unseen but meaningful benefit. Starting the habit does not require plunging into icy lakes or buying fancy equipment. The simplest approach is to end a warm shower with 15 to 30 seconds of cool water. Over time, you can increase the duration or lower the temperature as your tolerance builds. Even splashing cold water on your face in the morning, soaking your hands in cool water, or stepping briefly outside on a brisk day can provide similar benefits. Consistency matters more than intensity. It is the daily practice that shapes results. Some seniors hesitate because they fear the shock of the cold will be too much. But the truth is, the body adapts quickly. The first few times may feel uncomfortable, but within weeks, what was once a shock becomes invigorating. Many find that the anticipation is worse than the reality. Once the water hits, the body adjusts, the breath deepens, and a sense of vitality floods in. What once seemed unbearable becomes almost addictive, a daily challenge that brings joy. The psychological benefits are equally profound. Facing the cold builds mental resilience. Each time you endure those seconds of discomfort, you remind yourself that you are capable of more than you think. That mindset spills into other areas of life, helping you approach challenges with confidence rather than fear. Seniors who practice cold exposure often say it makes them feel younger, not just physically, but emotionally. More daring, more alive, more willing to embrace the unexpected. Imagine beginning your day this way. Instead of dragging yourself awake, you step into a shower that ends with a burst of cold. Your skin tingles, your circulation surges, your mind sharpens. You step out not sluggish but alert, carrying that energy into breakfast, errands, conversations, and the quiet moments of the day. You feel stronger, clearer, more resilient. This small ritual becomes not just about water, but about reclaiming vitality. Cold water exposure may seem unconventional, but its power is rooted in both science and tradition. Across cultures, from Nordic saunas to Japanese onsens, people have long practiced alternating between hot and cold to build resilience. What we now confirm in laboratories, our ancestors knew from experience, that the body thrives when challenged gently by nature's elements. For Gloria, 30 seconds of cold transformed her mornings. For you, it might be the same. Age does not take away the body's ability to adapt. If anything, it makes these practices more essential. By embracing the cold, you awaken the strength within you that modern comfort has allowed to rest. So the next time you step into the shower, take a deep breath and turn the dial just a little cooler. Let the water wash over you, not as punishment, but as a gift, a reminder that life still holds surprises, that your body still responds with vigor, and that resilience is never lost, only waiting to be rediscovered. In that shiver, in that gasp, in that sudden burst of clarity, you are not just surviving another day, you are choosing to live it fully. Breathing is something we all do, yet few of us realize how much power lies in the way we breathe. Each inhale brings life-giving oxygen into the body, each exhale carries away waste, but beyond this simple exchange lies a deeper truth. Controlled breathing can reshape your health, sharpen your memory, and even influence how your body regenerates. After 60, when the body begins to face challenges in energy, focus, and resilience, learning to harness targeted breathing techniques can feel like discovering a hidden fountain of youth. Unlike general relaxation breathing, targeted breathing is intentional, structured, and designed to unlock specific benefits. One of the most remarkable outcomes is its effect on the brain. Scientists have found that certain patterns of breathing increase brain plasticity, the ability of the brain to form new connections and adapt to change. For seniors, this is crucial. Brain plasticity is what helps you remember new names, pick up new skills, and preserve sharpness well into older age. Controlled breathing delivers more oxygen to brain cells, reduces stress hormones, and creates the conditions for memory and learning to thrive. The process works on a cellular level as well. Deep, rhythmic breathing oxygenates the blood more efficiently, ensuring that every cell in your body receives the fuel it needs. This not only improves brain health but also supports digestion, kidney function, and detoxification. Seniors often notice less bloating, smoother digestion, and steadier energy when they practice targeted breathing. The gentle movement of the diaphragm acts like a massage for the internal organs, stimulating circulation around the liver, intestines, and kidneys. What begins as a simple exercise of inhaling and exhaling becomes a profound support system for the entire body. Anxiety is another area where controlled breathing creates transformation. Many older adults struggle with restlessness, worry, or a racing mind, especially at night. The nervous system, worn down by years of stress, easily tips into fight or flight mode, even when there is no real danger. Techniques like the 4-7-8 method, which involves inhaling for 4 seconds, holding the breath for 7 seconds, and exhaling slowly for 8, help retrain the body to enter a calmer state. The extended exhale, in particular, signals safety to the brain, lowering cortisol and reducing tension. The result is a quieter mind, a steadier heart, and a body that feels ready for rest rather than trapped in worry. Consider the story of George, an 81-year-old retired accountant. George had always prided himself on his sharp memory, but over the past few years, he noticed changes. He would forget numbers he once recited effortlessly. He struggled to recall small details in conversations. Nights were restless, spent tossing and turning, his mind racing with thoughts he couldn't quiet. His doctor monitored his blood pressure, which hovered higher than he liked, and suggested trying breathing exercises to support both his cardiovascular health and his memory. Skeptical but willing, George began practicing the 4-7-8 technique every night before bed. At first, the exercise felt awkward. He had to count carefully in his head to maintain the rhythm, and holding his breath for 7 seconds seemed like an eternity. But he kept at it. Within a week, he noticed he was falling asleep faster. The tossing and turning eased, and mornings felt more refreshed. After a month, something unexpected happened. He could remember phone numbers and small details again without needing to write them down. At his next checkup, his blood pressure readings had improved as well. George marveled at how such a simple practice had created results that no pill ever had. "It's like my brain and body are finally working together again," he told his daughter. George's story is a powerful reminder that the body never stops responding to care, even in the later decades of life. Breathing is free, accessible, and always available. By shaping it with intention, you unlock a tool that directly influences both the nervous system and the cardiovascular system. The brain thrives on oxygen, but it also thrives on balance. Targeted breathing brings both, creating harmony where there was once stress and confusion. Science continues to confirm what George discovered firsthand. A 2020 study published in Nature suggested that controlled breathing not only reduces stress but also enhances the brain's ability to adapt and form new neural pathways. This is the very definition of resilience: the capacity to bend without breaking, to adjust without losing strength. For seniors, this resilience means greater independence, sharper thinking, and a stronger shield against cognitive decline. The physical benefits are equally profound. When you breathe deeply into the diaphragm, your blood becomes more oxygen-rich. This improved circulation lowers blood pressure, supports heart health, and improves energy. Seniors with arthritis often notice less pain, not because the joints have magically healed, but because improved circulation reduces inflammation and delivers more nutrients to those sore areas. Digestive issues also ease, as the massaging motion of the diaphragm stimulates the intestines and promotes smoother digestion. The ripple effect of targeted breathing reaches nearly every system of the body. Starting this habit requires nothing more than time and patience. You don't need special equipment, and you don't need to set aside large chunks of your day. Just a few minutes is enough to begin. The key is consistency. Whether you choose the 4-7-8 technique, box breathing, inhaling, holding, exhaling, holding each for 4 counts, or simply extending your exhales, the practice must become a daily ritual. Over time, the results accumulate, building a foundation of health that supports every other habit you embrace. Some seniors find it helpful to tie their breathing practice to an existing routine, just before brushing their teeth at night, after making the bed in the morning, or during a quiet moment with a cup of tea. Others like to pair it with prayer, meditation, or gentle stretching, creating a ritual that nourishes both body and spirit. The details matter less than the commitment. What matters most is that you give yourself the gift of intentional breathing every day. The psychological benefits go beyond calmness. Practicing targeted breathing fosters a sense of control. In a world where so much feels unpredictable, health changes, financial concerns, or the loss of loved ones, breathing gives you a tool that no circumstance can take away. You may not control what happens outside, but you can always control how you breathe inside. This awareness brings confidence, reduces fear, and restores a sense of agency over your well-being. Imagine how this habit could change the texture of your daily life. Instead of lying awake at night with your thoughts racing, you drift into sleep with a steady rhythm of breath. Instead of forgetting names or details, you recall them with ease, surprising yourself and delighting others. Instead of feeling trapped in anxiety, you pause, breathe deeply, and feel calm return. These are not dramatic transformations that happen overnight, but small shifts that accumulate, day by day, until you look back and realize your life feels lighter, clearer, and more manageable. For seniors who feel disconnected from their bodies, targeted breathing can also create a sense of reunion. Each breath becomes a moment of self-awareness, a chance to listen to what the body is saying. The rise and fall of the belly is not just physical. It is symbolic of resilience, a reminder that your body is still capable of adapting and thriving. Taking a few minutes to breathe intentionally is, in many ways, an act of self-respect. It is saying to yourself, I matter. My health matters. My peace matters. In the end, targeted breathing techniques are more than exercises. They are a form of medicine without a prescription, a therapy without side effects, a ritual that restores balance in a world that often feels unbalanced. For George, the 4-7-8 method brought back memory, stabilized blood pressure, and restored his sense of calm. For you, it may do the same, or perhaps even more. So tonight, when the day winds down, sit quietly, close your eyes, and begin. Inhale for 4 seconds. Hold for 7. Exhale for 8. Feel the rhythm take hold. Let your body relax, your mind quiet, and your spirit settle. In those simple numbers lies a profound gift, the chance to renew, to reconnect, and to reclaim the clarity and strength that aging has not taken away. Breathe with purpose. Breathe with gratitude. And know that with every breath, you are choosing life, resilience, and vitality. Sleep is often thought of as passive, a time when the body simply shuts down and rests. But science has revealed that sleep is anything but passive. While you lie in bed with your eyes closed, your brain is actively filing memories, repairing tissues, balancing hormones, and clearing out toxins. Every night is an opportunity for your body to restore itself. Yet for many seniors, sleep becomes elusive. Nights are restless, mornings feel groggy, and a dependable rhythm seems impossible. What few realize is that one of the most powerful tools for regaining restorative sleep is not a pill, a gadget, or a special mattress. It is simply keeping a consistent sleep-wake schedule. Your body runs on a 24-hour internal clock known as the circadian rhythm. This clock governs everything from hormone release to digestion, body temperature, and alertness. When the rhythm is steady, the body anticipates rest at night and activity during the day, creating harmony between your environment and your physiology. But when the schedule is irregular, staying up late one night, waking early the next, or napping at random times, the rhythm becomes confused. Hormones misfire, sleep quality plummets, and the very processes that protect memory and health begin to falter. For seniors, the stakes are even higher. Research has linked disrupted sleep patterns to increased risks of cognitive decline, heart disease, and even Alzheimer's disease. When sleep becomes fragmented, the brain cannot clear out waste proteins like beta-amyloid, which are associated with neurodegenerative conditions. Conversely, a predictable bedtime and wake-up time restore order, giving the brain the chance to cleanse and reset. In a sense, every good night's sleep is like a nightly tune-up for the brain. Hormones, too, respond to rhythm. Melatonin, the hormone that signals sleep, rises in the evening when the body knows it is time to rest. Cortisol, the hormone that wakes you up, rises in the morning when the body anticipates activity. But when bedtime changes from night to night, melatonin production becomes erratic, cortisol spikes at the wrong times, and the result is a tired body that cannot find its balance. Over time, this imbalance can weaken the immune system, increase inflammation, and accelerate the aging process. Imagine the difference between a symphony orchestra playing in perfect time versus musicians playing randomly without a conductor. The first produces harmony, the second chaos. Your circadian rhythm is that conductor. A consistent sleep-wake schedule is what keeps the orchestra of your body in tune. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Consider Frances, a 78-year-old widow who had struggled for years with restless nights. She often stayed up late watching television, then found herself waking at odd hours and unable to fall back asleep. Mornings were foggy, afternoons dragged with fatigue, and her mood suffered. She tried herbal teas, over-the-counter sleep aids, and countless tricks, but nothing brought lasting relief. Finally, at the encouragement of her doctor, she committed to one simple rule: bed at 10 p.m., wake at 6 a.m. every single day. No exceptions. The first week was difficult. Frances lay awake some nights, staring at the ceiling, tempted to break the routine. But she resisted, reminding herself that consistency mattered more than immediate results. By the second week, her body began to adjust. She started feeling sleepy naturally around 9:30 p.m., her eyelids heavy, her body eager for rest. By the third week, she noticed she was waking up without an alarm at exactly 6 a.m. More importantly, she felt refreshed, as if her body had finally remembered what real sleep was supposed to feel like. Frances's arthritis flare-ups became less severe, her mornings brighter, and her afternoons more productive. "It's like my body finally knows what to do again," she remarked to her daughter. For the first time in years, she had steady energy throughout the day. What had seemed like an unsolvable problem had been corrected by the simplest change of all: consistency. Her story illustrates what so many seniors discover, that it is not necessarily sleep itself that is broken, but the rhythm around it. The body craves predictability. Just as infants thrive on a bedtime routine, older adults benefit from the same stability. Going to bed and waking at the same time, even on weekends, signals the body to regulate hormones, repair tissues, and prepare for rest and activity with precision. The benefits extend beyond energy and mood. Studies in sleep medicine reviews have shown that consistent sleep schedules reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease, stabilize blood sugar, and improve memory retention. Seniors who adopt this habit often find that their digestion improves, their immune system strengthens, and their overall quality of life rises. Sleep, after all, is the foundation of health. Without it, every other system suffers. Practical steps can make this habit easier to adopt. First, choose a bedtime that allows for 7 to 8 hours of sleep. For most seniors, this means settling into bed by 9:30 or 10 p.m. and rising between 5:30 and 6:30 a.m. Stick to this schedule even after a restless night. The temptation to sleep in or nap excessively during the day may be strong, but maintaining the rhythm is more important than catching up on lost hours. Over time, the consistency will retrain your body to sleep more deeply. Second, create a calming wind-down routine. The body needs signals that bedtime is approaching. This might include reading a few pages of a book, listening to soft music, or practicing gentle breathing exercises. Avoid screens an hour before bed, as the blue light from phones and televisions suppresses melatonin. Instead, choose activities that soothe rather than stimulate. Third, pay attention to your environment. Keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. Invest in comfortable bedding, and reserve your bed for sleep rather than watching television or scrolling through your phone. By associating the bed with rest, you condition your mind to enter sleep more easily. Nutrition and habits also play a role. Avoid heavy meals, caffeine, or alcohol late in the evening, as these can disrupt sleep cycles. Instead, opt for light snacks if needed, such as a small bowl of oatmeal or a glass of warm milk. Hydrate during the day, but limit large amounts of fluid close to bedtime to reduce nighttime trips to the bathroom. The payoff of these simple adjustments can be life-changing. Seniors who maintain a consistent sleep-wake schedule often notice improved mood, sharper thinking, steadier balance, and fewer health complaints. They wake with energy to enjoy their day rather than dragging through it. More importantly, they lower their risk of long-term conditions such as Alzheimer's, cardiovascular disease, and depression. The emotional impact cannot be overstated. Good sleep restores not just the body but also the spirit. Waking rested brings a sense of optimism, a readiness to greet the day, and the patience to handle life's challenges. For someone who has endured years of restless nights, this renewal feels nothing short of miraculous. Imagine the ripple effects in your own life. Instead of lying awake at 2 a.m., you drift into sleep easily because your body knows it is time. Instead of waking groggy and irritable, you rise refreshed, ready for breakfast and a morning walk. Instead of struggling to recall details, your memory feels sharper, your conversations flow more smoothly, and your mind feels alive again. These are not distant dreams. They are attainable realities through the simple act of consistency. Frances discovered that her body had not forgotten how to sleep. It had only forgotten when. By restoring a schedule, she restored her vitality. For you, the same transformation is possible. Aging may change many things, but it does not erase the body's ability to heal when given the right rhythm. So tonight, as the sun sets, consider the gift of predictability. Set a bedtime, commit to it, and honor it as you would any important appointment. Rise at the same time each morning, even on days you don't feel like it. With each passing week, your body will respond with gratitude, rewarding you with deeper sleep, clearer memory, and renewed strength. Consistency may not sound glamorous, but it is one of the most powerful medicines available. In the quiet hours of the night, when your body repairs, and in the calm of the morning, when it prepares, you are building resilience that carries into every part of your life. A consistent sleep-wake schedule is more than a routine. It is a foundation for longevity, independence, and joy. As the years go by, it is easy to believe that decline is inevitable, that stiff joints, restless nights, and fading memory are simply part of growing old. But the truth is far more hopeful. 6 small habits, each simple on its own, can create extraordinary change when practiced with consistency. Drinking water first thing in the morning, walking with purpose, breathing deeply, embracing a touch of cold, using targeted breathing techniques, and keeping a steady sleep-wake rhythm. None of these demands wealth or youth. They only ask for your commitment. Together, they form a framework for vitality after 60, proving that aging is not an ending but a transition. Your body still wants to heal, your mind still longs to stay sharp, and your heart still carries the strength to push blood through every vein. With each habit, you are sending yourself a message: I am not done yet. I still have energy to give, memories to create, and joy to discover. So tonight, as you reflect on what you've heard, ask yourself, which of these 6 habits will you try first? Will it be the refreshing glass of water, the brisk morning walk, or perhaps a few minutes of quiet breathing? Share your choice in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you, and your story may inspire someone else. If this message spoke to you, don't forget to tap like, share this video with friends or loved ones who may need encouragement, and subscribe to our channel. Your support allows us to keep bringing you wisdom, inspiration, and practical tools for living well after 60. Together, let's keep proving that life after 60 can be not only longer, but richer, brighter, and more alive.